Welcome in, everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to get triple AP weapons using the monster arena in Final Fantasy X. Fortunately, there are going to be some steps you're going to have to do before you can even attempt this. You're going to have to do a little bit of grinding. You're going to have to do a little bit of monster hunting, and you're going to have to go capture certain monsters in certain areas. You're not going to have to catch all of them, but if you do want to do all the capturing, I highly recommend it because you are going to be rewarded for it based on the items. And I highly recommend doing it. It is going to be very grindy, and I'm going to state this again, very grindy. So if you want to do this in intervals and stages, go for it. I won't show you every state, like I won't show you how to capture it. That's completely on a different own separate video. But I'm going to show you guys what to do when you get to this stage afterwards. I will link the certain monsters, the flying eyes that you have to go catch or capture to get this point. But before you do that, make sure, if you haven't already, go into this lovely vendor area. This little dude, this nice little gentleman who's sitting in the calm lands, he will give you the option to buy any capture item that you would like. So you can pick your team, whatever team that you want to do it, or whatever team you want to go for the capturing. I typically go with Waka for being able to get flying. You can get, I also like to do Kamari and Titus, but if you guys want to do any other team, that is completely up to you. The goal here is to pick up, you can pick them all up. So if you want to utilize them all, that's completely up to you if you want. But I want to give a little bit of advice. You see that there is one extra space under the ability for each weapon. I highly recommend that you guys, if you can, this is only based on how good you've been collecting and your drop rates and whatnot, and how many treasures you got and how many return spears you got. If you go into your weapons and customize it, and you, because I already have my taming swords customized as it is, I have put first strike in there. I'm going to explain why. First off, I have first strike, and I have first strike for all three of my team that I use for capturing. The purpose for that is if you always get first strike. So if the battle for some reason doesn't fit based on the turn system, or you're having a little bit of trouble of getting the first couple enemies down, or they're hitting you too hard and you have to focus on healing, this gives you the option to A, flee, B, get the preventive strike out, and C, set up your turn base, whether you want to use haste, Haska, or any of that stuff to get the advantage. If you get ambushed, I highly recommend fleeing and just keep looking. Now, please note, if you are hunting rare ones and they get ambushed, you might want to consider fighting and just kind of battling through with like Haska and whatnot. Now, saying all this, once you go to the areas, I'm gonna put the image up. Here's the monsters you have to go find. The purpose of going capturing these monsters is this guy will eventually generate or create special conquest monsters or area conquests or original monsters, eventually based on how many monsters you collect. Now, before I show you which one, I want to also let you guys know that so an example is the floating eye. That's one of the enemies that I need to go get. The number that you see in the middle, right down the board, you see the 10, is how many times I've captured them. The maximum times that you can go capture any enemy in this game is 10. So whether you want to go out and go capture the enemy just once is up to you. But I highly recommend that you go and capture all 10 of them. Super grindy. I know. But if you're like me who wants to go platinum this game, which I have platinum this game, and you want to go and grind out max and level every tuner, your grid board, and getting like super crazy AP, this is the first step to be able to get to that stage. So, step one, get a weapon, pick your team, make sure you put first strike on. Step two, go to the areas that you need to go collect the enemies for creating a monster. Step three, go capture all 10 of them if you feel energetic to do enough. Saying that, will bring you to the next quest. So this guy will create special monsters based on how many times you go and fight and capture these monsters. The rule of thumb is each monster is based on certain genders of monster you catch. Fenrir is based on the wolves in the game. If you capture all the wolves in the game enough times, he'll appear. So in this case, we need to capture the one. We have to fight the one-eye monster multiple times. Maybe you'll get lucky in 3 battles and you'll get the weapon you need, but we're gonna have to fight this guy. Before fighting this guy, I highly recommend you put on your strongest weapons. For my case, I'm already overpowered, but for my case, I went and did all the celestial weapons. I got the celestial weapons for everybody, and I'm going to be using them. I'm not going to be worried too much about the armor, but Auto Phoenix is there just in case you do get hit. But the one small thing I would suggest is that you take one of your weapons and you put first strike on. I usually put it on somebody who has a flea. The reason for this, again, you can get ambushed in this game. And if you get ambushed, you are going to potentially get a wipe. Please note, wiping on this guy doesn't mean you're dead. It doesn't mean game over. It just means you just come up here with here and you have to go to the save portal right behind you, regenerate your health, and you're good. But you're just gonna lose 8,000 gills. All right. So with all that said, we're ready to fight the monster. I'm gonna go step by step of how to kind of battle this. So go here, one-eye monster. Again, you need to capture the flying eyes multiple times before this happens. Also, make sure you have at least an abundance of guild. This is also a really good source of making gil afterwards. I'll explain it afterwards. So, purposely, you can see that you have a flying eye. Again, we did not get ambushed, so we got the first move anyways. I also have an auto haste on Kamari regardless, so he's going to have an abundance of speed regardless. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Haska. And now our boys have all the ability to knock him down. Again, I'm a little overpowered due to me capturing all the enemies. If you go out and capture all 10 of them, whether if it's every zone or you're just missing a few, you're going to get to this point where you're very, very, very strong and everything is pretty much going to die in a few. Even these monsters. These monsters are still going to hurt if you get hit, but that's why I have auto Phoenix down as well. Anyways, let's go through this battle. So big couple hits right there and overkill. We're done. Easy peasy. Now, what's going to happen here is, oh, here's a perfect example. The items that you get are going to be like magic defense spears. You're going to potentially get other items in there. But the main thing that you're looking at is equipment. You see that wandering wing? That is one item that is going to always have a triple AP on it. Please note that you're not always going to get a weapon. They typically happen a quarter a time, maybe half a time, but you're either going to get a weapon based on all the characters. Each one's going to be different, and they're all going to be always named the same. So if you see Wandering Wing, you know it's going to be one for Yuna. Here's another kicker too. This item is either going to be a 2-slot or a 3-slot with triple AP. you are looking for 3 slots with the AP, so 2 open slots available. Now, if you don't get a weapon, you're going to get a very good accessory item that will always have like magic defense, or sorry, magic or HP percent or something. It is going to be really good if you want to use it, or you could just sell it and you can make really good money off it. So either way, it's a win-win. So I'm going to post the link for what items can drop right in this video as well. Okay, so we're going to take a peek at what this item was that dropped. And there's 2 ways you can do it. You can go into the manual and go all the way to the bottom for the last item to drop, or if you know who it is already, you can just go to their item and look at it. But this here is an example of a 2-slot triple AP. So this is no bueno in this case. You want to ideally get an item like this. I actually got a couple of them already, just in case. But this is Rico's Golden Arm, and this is another prime example that an item that could drop in there that has 3 slots. You're looking for the RNG, so be patient. This might take you a while, but the end goal is if you do get these, this is your first step of trying to get triple AP. And that's about it, guys. That's about it to wrap it up. Now, there are a couple things that are going to come up afterwards. If you were very ambitious to go out and get all 10 monsters from each area, you're going to get rewarded, and the game is going to reward you really, really, really nice. They're going to give you a lot of different customizations that you're able to do. Let's go to God Hand. Not God Hand. The item that I was just looking at, Riku's God Hand's a different hand. Golden Arm. If you go to her Golden Arm and now you're able to play and customize with it, there are going to be abilities like overdrive to AP that you're going to want to put into it, and you're going to want to also put in triple overdrive for this explain. Now, this will go into my next video that I'll make, basically how to farm levels, and I will explain that going forward. But this video is just basically showing you how to get triple AP. The AP is a great way to grind, a great source for you to be able to get yourself into the point where you maximize your ability to maximize your grid, because we all know the grid is like 900 spears. But if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you have any comments, please comment below. If you guys want to see more gameplay on Final Fantasy, you can always go catch me on Twitch. Until next video, we're going to show you how to maximize the AP and literally get almost 99 levels for your grid just off one battle. Till next video, guys.